My name's Hannah Lee.
And my name's Reese Erdahl.
And this is Winnebago Middle School.
And we're here for 8th grade career day.
We follow you, Katie, is that right? Oh, okay. All right. Morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you been?
Good to see you.
You know, good
How
to
are you?
see you. Was it Jesse you graduated with?
No, Jesse was a year younger than us.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, good to see you.
Yeah, you
I see you married up.
Right in here?
Okay,
All right,
okay.
thank
Good morning, Jim
Hi,
Sacia.
Kylie Gray. I actually graduated with Jesse.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was a Whitney.
Morning. How are you? Are you part of this group?
Yeah.
Good. I'm Jim Sacia. Nice to see you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jim Sacia. My family and I have lived in Winnebago since 1970. Believe it or not, I distinctly remember being in the 8th grade. And what I remember most about being in the 8th grade was when I looked at somebody, say 50 years old, I thought they were like a really old guy. And now that I have the privilege of being age 75, I feel very honored and humbled to still be on this ball of mud we call Earth. As the owner of NITE Equipment Company, that was an evolution from a previous career. I spent most of my adult life as an FBI agent. I served 28 years in the Federal Bureau of Investigation. When were you guys born? What year? Oh my gosh, I am really dating myself. I retired from the FBI in 1997. I chose to retire at age 53. And I did that because, as I stated, I wanted to start this farm equipment business. And we started it on our farm just north, 4 miles north of Winnebago on Cache Road. And we were there for a few years, and then we moved over to the Highway 20 location where we are today. NITE Equipment is a farm equipment truck and trailer dealership. This was to be my retirement hobby. This was supposed to be a little mom and pop for my wife and I and my oldest son, Jerry. It has evolved into a business that employs 14 full-time employees. I did not include my wife because she works without a salary. She does it happily, I think happily, most of the time. But the reason I mention that is because in business, you either kind of grow or you kind of die. And this business exploded. It turned into an amazing business. We always have over 400 trailers on site. We sell over 1,000 trailers a year. We have 2 full-time salesmen. We have 4 technicians in the shop doing repairs on trailers and farm equipment. We have 3 ladies that take care of all the office work. It really became an explosive business. I have one regret of when I was in 8th grade. And I had that same regret through my freshman year, my sophomore year, my junior year, and my senior year in high school. And that regret is I was about as motivated as plant life. I had 0 ambition, I just kind of floated through school. And I guess where that regret takes me is to what I would like to leave you with today, no matter what you do with the rest of your life. Just work hard and get that education. It will literally work wonders for you. In whatever chosen field you choose, whether you decide to go on to college, whether you go on to technical school, whether you already have an expertise, but just don't do what Jim Sacia did, get motivated. See, in high school, I was in that half of the class that made the upper half possible. I'm not very proud. That's supposed to get a laugh, guys. Come on. In fact, I would actually like to ask each of you to remember 10 words. And I dare say most of you have heard of these. 10 little words, each 2 letters. And it applies to every one of you in your life. whatever you plan to do with your life, if you remember these 10 words, they will carry you through very successfully. And those 10 words are, remember, they're only 2 letters each, and it's very easy to remember. If it is to be, it is up to me. You can become anything in life that you want to. Do you think when I was in 8th grade, I thought I could become an FBI agent? No. After I was a FBI agent, retired, started our business, then after a number of years, we moved out on Highway 20 in 1997, and I was there for about 4 years, 2001 to be exact, and I decided to run for Illinois State Representative. I served as your state representative for 11 years, and that was a tremendous privilege and another something I'm extremely proud of. But all the time, NITE equipment has continued to grow with good people, and I think a lot of divine intervention from the good Lord above to help us continue making it move forward. You know, and again, you can ask me questions about whether it's NITE equipment or the FBI or being a state representative or anything else that you have an interest in. Yes, miss?
What is the highlight, or what was the highlight of being an FBI agent?
Highlight of being an FBI agent, working with the finest law enforcement officers in the nation every day. Now I want to share with you what I did as an FBI agent. 26 of my 28 years, I was the only FBI agent in the 4 northwestern counties of Illinois. Joe Davies, Stevenson, Carroll, and Whiteside counties. That's where I spent all of my time. And I had to work with fellow law enforcement officers, both men and women, in order to accomplish my tasks. They relied on me, I relied on them. So I would have to tell you, probably one of the biggest highlights was being able to work with so many good people. Now, I haven't mentioned this, but I will, because I just published a book. It is about my years in the FBI. It's available on Amazon. It's available on Barnes & Noble and all of the other major platforms. It's called Not in My Wildest Dreams, Memoirs of a Veteran FBI Agent. And they are available out at NITE Equipment for $17 a copy. If you order one from Amazon, it's $18.95. This is not a commercial, but I do want you to know that I did just write a book that does detail my years as an FBI agent. Yes, miss?
What were your responsibilities as an FBI agent?
I was responsible for all of the 286 violations that the FBI has jurisdiction over. Now your next question will be, well, what are those 286 violations? They all fall within 3 categories. Most obvious, crime of an interstate nature. You steal a car and go to Cairo, Illinois, not investigated by the FBI. Go to Beloit, Wisconsin, you're in federal trouble. Any interstate crime investigated by the FBI. That's the first criteria, making up many of the 286 violations. The second one, wherever the United States government has a party, is a party in interest. Example, how many of you have been in a bank? Anytime. Have you ever noticed a sign on the door? This institution insured by FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, meaning the federal government is insuring that money. Take money from a bank, it's investigated by the FBI. Steal from Sullivan's over here, not investigated by the FBI. So anytime the United States government is a party in interest. Thirdly, I held up one finger, no, you get it. Thirdly, biggest reason for the FBI even being in existence. Unquestionably the biggest. And there are today approximately, I'm going to ballpark it because I'm not directly involved anymore, I'm going to say somewhere around 15 to 18,000 special agents of the FBI. When I came in 1969, I was one of 6,000. Today it's at least 3 times that. But the third criteria for the FBI getting involved in a case is wherever the security of the United States is involved. Anyone have a clue what I'm talking about? How about 9/11? That, again, 9/11 was before you guys were even born, right? That was 2001. Okay. But we had an attack on our country, the security of the United States. The FBI is the principal investigative agency. Doesn't mean it's the only agency. I mean, obviously, when that happened, the FBI is joined with New York City Police Department, all of the other law enforcement agencies in that area worked on that. But those would be the three basic criteria that brings the FBI in on a case. The most important thing that we can have is people that work well together. And I think that's a lesson of life that I think each of you should make as an effort in your life going forward. And I'm sure you do it right here in your school days. You know, working with one another, helping one another, getting through the day with any variety of different issues that you may face in your class, or individuals that you're meeting with or working with, or whatever your situation happens to be. I mentioned earlier, and I wasn't really sticking to a specific of the FBI or working on any aspect of what we were doing, but I mentioned what I consider the 10 most important words in the world. If it is to be, it is up to me. But there's another thing that I think is so very important in the workday world for you folks when you get out there. I think we have a tendency to put great emphasis on the technology of the particular job. We're not changing classes now, are we? Okay, okay. But I think the importance that I would like to stress to you is the importance of attitude. We're in the process of hiring another technician right now. And in so doing, what we're finding is before we get to job knowledge of a person that knows how to be a technician, how to work on engines, how to rebuild brakes, how to pack bearings, what is so important to us is the ability to work with others. Interestingly, Yale University, a university I'm sure many of you have heard of, did a study. And one of the things that they determined was that when an employer hires a new person, before they even get to job knowledge, they go through 16 other things that are more important to them. How that person presents themselves, how with others, honesty, integrity, work ethic. There are so many things that no matter what you do in life, it kind of goes back to Jim Sacia when I was a young person and teachers telling me, Jim, you have ability, use it. And it took me a long time to get my arms around that. And I truly hope that you guys do better than I did. And I don't think anyone can just automatically make it happen. It kind of comes back to the if it is to be, it is up to me. I go back to what I believe in everything. If you want something bad enough, you can take it, you can obtain it if you work hard enough. You know, there's a saying out there and it goes something like this. It has to do with attitude. Life is 10% what happens to me, and it's 90% how I react to it. You know, you can have bad things happen in your life, but don't let it consume you. Overcome that and become something better because of it. It was a good question, sir. Thank you. I have 3 sons. My oldest son and my youngest son are both involved in our business at NITE Equipment. Our middle son, John, is a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. He's an F-16 fighter pilot, loves what he does, needless to say. And he started out in the Army as an Apache helicopter pilot. He got out of the Army after 9 years, worked his way into the Air Force as a commissioned officer and an F-16 fighter pilot. So I just really am high on the military. No question about it. I think it's a great place to start.